Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm a textile design student along the Met, and today I will walk you through my workshop. It's gonna be like a little journey through what I've done so far and what I'm developing as well. Different concept, different fragment of my personality that I put into work and creation and how I generate concept.
Nice. Transition.
Transition?
Yes.
Are you really number two?
I've traveled a lot this year as well, and I really feel like it contributes a lot on the creating of concept. I really need to stimulate my mind and soul in order to produce. Art should reflect the designer or the artistry as well. You've seen some of my major work from last year. We've got some sort of like collage. I really work with collage a lot, and this is basically like based on study of pattern and print, very optical. So I decided to use optical color such as black and white, so they're very visual. As you can see from here, this is one of the introduction of the photo shoots that I've done. Was really cool actually. And then if you're going more forward on the right, you will see how I'm creating textile in order to change the vibe and set a more zen tone on living spaces. And it's basically all about like biophilic design, which is basically introduction of vegetation on textile, but also looking for something very organic that kind of lived through my print and my textile. Little snippet, because we're gonna go to school soon, and I will really show you like how to create and produce and what kind of techniques I will be using in order to achieve certain result. You got your tea over here, how you know?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I will have my tea.
Exactly, there you go.
As proper Italian.
Proper Italian pasta.
We are making pasta.
Quello che faccio, metto già la pasta dentro l'acqua, non faccio bollire l'acqua, quindi enjoy. Potete espatriarmi, potete levarmi il passaporto, tutti i diritti da italiano, non me ne frega proprio una minchia. No.
No, cioè tu metti la
Io metto
pasta.
l'acqua e poi la pasta la metto diretta già.
E perché?
Così almeno non sto a stornare e mettere là. Non so se questo sugo basti, non sono sincero, però c'è un po' di pasta che ho già fatto.
Non ti preoccupi.
Ma cosa fai vedere? Questa non è arte culinaria.
Ma questa è la vita dello studente, no?
Studente bro. The most challenging thing that I've witnessed in uni, I started uni at a very late stage. I'm only 29 at the moment. It's probably like trying to express my idea because they're very, very deep and strong, because I really feel like using your emotional intelligence to create an empathetic connection to the audience is what really mattered to me. It's not really the actual design himself. Translating and give a little frame of your life path to people. Be true to yourself. Never discourage, never underestimate yourself, because at the end of the day, it might be that you might not be surrounded by people that understand your point. After uni, you have all the world waiting for you, so...
Don't listen to people, yeah? That's the key. Don't listen.
Listen! On the mat, you see that? So we're going up for flow first, because this is my ritual. I don't want to come here.
Oh, this is your place.
Yeah. So coming in. So here we got fashion design. As you can see, like you have all the machinery and stuff like that. You can see in there, but yeah. But we don't really work with them mainly.
Oh, okay.
And this is where the hard work happened, you know.
それはできません。
Like this is the project I'm working on at the moment. But before going into that, I just wanna show you how things are gonna be produced. But before to get that and then maybe working on heat press, I feel like I need to really show you like what it means to create textile and design. We definitely need some water at some point. Then gloves. If you need to kind of like, I don't know, like get your wallet and stuff like that, I feel like gloves are important because then you don't stain anything. Oh my God, this is. Don't be focused on the size. Don't be nasty. Don't be thinking like, no. This is a brush, okay? It's very, very thick, chunky, but it's not for the purpose that you're thinking of. So, I'm sorry, but this is.
I was
good.
getting already so excited.
I know. Everyone get excited actually. Even my tutor get excited, because it's actually really handy. Because like you can really, work on paper really easily. Because it will just cover the whole area. The protagonist is the main character. I really feel like you should definitely use this, and I will show you and I will explain you the reason why. I need to be surrounded by things that are not really useful for what I'm doing sometimes, but just because like in case I need something that can pop in my head, I know that it's there. I always bring not essential in order to, make myself a little bit more comfortable in,
What you gonna do with the water?
Water is essential because like I will tell you later. Like why you need to spoil?
Why I need to spoil everything? I don't know why do you need to spoil. I'm just not patient enough, I guess.
I know, but the art is about being patient and take your time.
Yeah, that's why I'm not an artist.
True. I just want to share a little bit about my work and the concept behind that. So this is basically like part of my presentation. The first approach, which is biophilic design, nature, I was kind of like trying to get into this sort of like surrealistic and metaphysical experience where human can really be one with nature, but also at the same time, I really feel like nature can kind of present like geometrical pattern. I really love this sort of like, situation of sort of illusion, mirage, scene, shape, they are not there. You got here, picture taken with my iPhone, but then obviously with my Polaroid, I managed to get into this sort of like situation, and it's really, really inspiring. I was really in love with this sort of like ethereal mood that you see here, where you can get to know a little bit, some fragments, some pieces of the landscape, but then you have this sort of like smog and foggy situation where you can't see really shape, but you see texture. It's about perception. It's very sensorial. When it comes to design, it's also good to have in mind that design really empower people or make them feel better or confident in themselves. So this is pretty much what it's about. Before that, I needed to do testing, so I really used myself as a body, which I'm not a really great model. It was a way to kind of like experiment and explore and live through the pattern as well in a way. So once I said that, we can crack on and start with my practice, which is a little bit more interesting and dynamic. Before that, let me test my color first. These pigments are really, really strong. So in order for me to get lighter color, obviously I use primary color, but in order to get different other shades, I need to dilute my color with water. I really realized that unconventional tool really helped me a lot. I need to be tested. I need to use material that hasn't been used before, because I feel like using brush is just traditional, but at the same time, it's very easy. I feel like I need to get out of my comfort zone. What I'm gonna do here, I wet the paper because I'm not gonna be able to be too much in control of that. You know what I mean? So I draw a line, but then from a line, you've got this color that expand, and it's almost like seeing a flower blossoming or something that has life on paper. And this is what I do. So, and then again, like I can just, go like that, for example, and have a little dash and splash. The more pigment you add and the more saturation you have in certain areas. Self-destruction. You can do that. The stinky bitches that, they never clean after the stuff. Because, mama teach you well. So you better stick with it. Yeah, way better. I will probably try and do this. 1, And then maybe I can probably try, here we go. You see?
Yeah.
When I'm saying testing, I'm talking about that as well. It's really interesting as well to work with different level or like, yeah, surfaces, as in like move your work, because you never know like what kind of shape you can create. As you can see, like the main focus of my project was based on, you know, creating shapes. I really feel like the techniques that I've shown you really help a lot on understanding like how I detach myself from the situation, but being present and witnessing the movement and the flow of the color on wet paper. It's not me leading my work, but it's the work himself that structured and find composition by being true to herself. Instead of like erasing and avoiding stuff, it's more about embracing what is not working. The majority of the time when you do that, you can create art that are actually better than what you think. So you've seen the process, you've seen how, you know, from drawing become then tool to then produce print, and then what you've just seen downstairs, I've seen on the second floor, like you will have the workshop. Mainly at the moment I'm working on heat press because I can allow myself to have different attempts. I've been working on heat press on 200 degrees and I set the time on 45 seconds. Normally it's between 30 and 60. I decided to split 45 based on the heat press that you're using. You will have then different way of pressing the fabric on the stencil. Make sure you kind of cover up the heat press as well with paper, because it kind of avoid to get color on the heat press is, I think, safer as well, not to expose the fabric on the heat press straight away. Working on artificial fabric, you have chances to melt down your fabric. Majority of the work that I do is based on technical sample. You need to kind of like try different things and always make sure that you trying to find alternative solution, but also taking your work in different routes, because that is where you see a 360 of your work. If you have really solid ideas, just go for it. If you come in closer, I will show you what we've done today. This is the stencil. Obviously, is less saturated, has been used twice. So this is what happened when you use the stencil. I cut out a little piece and then I've produced. This is organza, so you have this sort of like see-throughness that dissolve the print. It's kind of like deconstructed in a way and very saturated, obviously, right? And then on velvet, second attempt, you will have pretty much the same sort of situation, but that would be very true to the nature of the fabric. The color himself is not really overwhelming. Second attempt on see-through, where you don't have really much an idea of the texture, but it's still kind of like there. I think the shimmer effect kind of work really well with the texture, because it just give a different definition as well. I really feel like this one can be probably like for furniture at this point. This is not actually a repeat. It could be, but I haven't tried that print on digital to see a little stream of how I can repeat this pattern. So it's basically like just one piece where you just print out in different scale and then you produce the fabric. This is something that I've done Tuesday, and this is what I did today, and this is the second attempt. So this is the second time that I've been used this collage. Okay, you can see that there are different way of looking at my work now, because I really feel like this can be quite overwhelming, especially for the neon. I have to break through the pattern, and maybe I can just, you know, cut through these pieces if I really want to think about color balance. But if I really want to look at the drawing as a repeat, then I can just think about the whole piece. At the end of the day, I kind of like put upside down my collage, so obviously you have this sort of like specular effect. I was basically like giving option on how you look at your work.
Okay.
Like for example, let's do a test now. What do you see here? Like what you like, what you don't like, what would you change? Like that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like I've done my work, great, but what's next? I need to see beyond my work in order to continue. I know that velvet, for example, is not gonna be the one that has to be print first, but will be see-through. The velvet will be the second because it gives less of a saturation for the color. This one, I know that I can try and do repeat, maybe twice. Some area are still the same color saturation from the first one. Analogically, I can feel like I have much more to experiment and work with repeat rather than digitally, because digitally you have 2 attempts. Knowing that, I can adjust myself, you know what I mean? So I've got that, and I can continue because I've got so much shit to do, and I'm happy about it, to be honest, really, because it just keeps me motivated, and I see, you know, my work really coming through.
Becca, possibilità. Ok, Nel.
Oh my god, che stanchezza.